Here's the front of the house. The retaining wall goes all the way around and encloses the garden and the property on that side, and the flowers go all the way around. About a month ago, I made my first garden video. This is one of the 2 dwarf cherry trees we planted this year. Here's the other. I'm very happy that they survived and I'm eager to see what they'll do in the future. Some flowers in pots and squash in a grow box. Oops, sorry, don't want to make you dizzy. The strawberry bed, we put those in bare root about 2 months ago, and we started being able to pick strawberries a week or 2 ago. These are some delphinium plants. These have grown nicely too. These were tiny little 2-inch plants when I put them in. They go in the back. A couple of days a week I babysit for 2 toddler grandchildren. In between the babies and the rain, it's been hard to get out here when I want to get out here. Here's some astilbe. And all along here are the shade-loving. This rose was pretty much more than half dead at the start of the season. I admit I hadn't cared for it too well for a few years. I cut it back and gave it a lot of food, and it's making a comeback. These are yellow squash, and I thinned out the left-hand side of the planter, but I did not thin out the right yet. And I wanted to transplant some of these into grow bags because we really love yellow squash in our house. I haven't gotten to it yet, and I hope to be able to do that by this weekend. Here's some celery that we started by seed, and I believe that's a cucumber plant. The watermelon, last time these were just tiny 3 or 4 inch plants. I didn't know if it was going to even survive or not, and it has survived. We did start this from seed inside the house, so hopefully we will get at least one small watermelon out of it, and I'll be thrilled. I've never been able to grow a watermelon here. Here's a Cherokee Purple tomato in this pot that we started from seed. Pepper plant that we started from seed. And some beans back there. Here's our asparagus. I keep wanting to call this an asparagus patch every time I make a video. I don't know why I do that. Raspberry patch. We put these in, most of them as bare canes, and it took a long time for them to take off. I really thought it failed, and I was getting ready to rip them out of here and put in something else and just call it a failure for this year. again because I've been trying to grow raspberries for years. And just when I was ready to give up, the bare canes that we put in started to have growth coming up from around them, and now we have what you see here. So I'm very pleased. So it looks like we will have a raspberry patch at long last. And I put carrots in front. I know in the future, as the raspberry patch expands, I won't have room for anything in front, but for this year I threw some carrots in. Here's the squash in the earth box. And this is a tiny little plant. Last time, it was just under a month ago that I made the last video, and this was quite small. You can barely see the box now, and we actually picked our first zucchini off of here yesterday, so this is already producing. In spite of the rain and some of the other problems that we've had this year, the garden is producing for me earlier and in more abundance than it has previously. There's a tomato plant that I did not stake up. This one's just kind of growing wild. There's another one back there that's smaller. You can see how in this grow bag there's a little marker there that says sweet banana, yet you don't see any plant in there. One day I came in here to do some weeding, and I forgot to close this funky little gate or fencing that I put up here to keep our dog out. Well, he got in here, and I don't know if it's the smell of the manure or what, but he loves to dig into these grow bags if he can get into them. Well, he tore up a couple of the pepper plants that we had started from seed and one or two tomato plants, and I was pretty upset about it, but it was my fault for leaving the fencing down. So I've taken it as a lesson learned, and I've been more conscientious about making sure I close this up if I come back here to work. Tomato plants are doing well. They've got little tomatoes. This rose bush, I honestly can't remember the name of it, but I ordered that online for something ridiculous, like $5 or something, a number of years ago. And although I tried to keep it staked up against the fence, it would cascade over with these 5 or 6 foot branches. Like it would be like a waterfall of roses, and it would come way out of that fenced in area. My husband started to complain about that it looked too wild and that he was getting scratched all the time when he was mowing the lawn. So when I went out here at the beginning of the season, I hacked that down till it was nothing but the main trunk. I didn't leave a leaf or on there at all. And I was like, well, if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Well, it has come back with a vengeance. If anything, it's even healthier than before. You can see all the buds on this thing. It's amazing. So it's a beautiful rose that I paid almost nothing for. And it literally just produces not hundreds, probably thousands of flowers every year. And I have to admit that I've been lax in feeding my roses and taking care of them. So pretty much with very little attention from me, this has been quite prolific, and has survived my neglect and the elements and everything else. Here's some Rutgers in grow bags. Again, doing quite well. You can see little tomatoes in there. All the rain has worried me. I thought my tomatoes would get diseases and die or not produce fruit, but so far, in spite of everything, we've got tomatoes, peppers, or everything seems to be doing well. I moved some of the tomatoes in the grow bags away from the fence line with the other ones and put them over here. It was getting too crowded over there. Things were getting too big, and I wanted to give them some room to have air circulation, and I may yet have to relocate some of these again. Here's our cucumbers back here with their trellis, and man, I can't even count the number of flowers on these cucumber plants, so they're doing well. And in front here we have 2 eggplants that I put in this grow box, and they are huge now. These are actually bigger than the eggplant that I put in the raised beds on the other side. Here's the pole beans, which I planted probably just over a month ago. The last video I did, they were probably only 4 or 5 inches tall. Now they've totally grown up. Beautiful leaves. I don't see any beans yet, but as long as we have progress, I'm good. You see more of the flowers on the cucumber plant. This is probably my favorite area, my favorite garden area, my favorite place to sit. We have that old weathered bench that my husband made from a kit he got at Home Depot. We actually had 2 of them originally. One of them finally did break. And we have the bird feeding area there. I just love to sit out here and watch the birds come and go, the chipmunks, whatnot. We have some beautiful, well-established perennial flowers here. And then you can see the raised beds we put out here. So let me get up here and we'll take a little walk. Hard to walk around because I have so many projects. Here's the peppers in the grow boxes. They seem to be doing good. Back here in these pots, those are a type of African tomato. I can't remember the name, but they grow what looks like little yellow cherry tomatoes. Those were started from seed. This is how big they are now. I'm going to be moving those into a big pot, a big giant container, probably over the weekend. Here's the herb. A lot of the herbs have bolted. This is a hot area. There's some carrots and peppers. Pickling cucumbers there. My peppers and tomato plants, some of them, just haven't had leaves as green as I think they should be, yet they're producing my darn dog is up barking. There's some broccoli and tomatoes and peppers. You can see the aromas there. Look at that. So they are growing. All along this retaining wall, there's flowers. There's my bench. My favorite place to sit. Right now there's crushed stone on this path, and I'm one of those people who loves to walk barefoot. I find this stone is too hot and it hurts my feet. So I'm going to be going back to mulch out here. So hopefully the next video I do that'll be done. All the plants in the blue bags, I'm calling them the mystery plants. We took the, when the seedlings were old enough and it was warm enough out to bring them outside and put them on a picnic table, we did. And one day we had a very windy day. They blew off, the tags came off of a lot of them, so I have no idea what they are. So we have some type of squash there, a couple of peppers, and a couple of tomatoes, but I don't know the variety. It's a delphinium. That's about it for the tour this time. I worried about this bed being too shaded, but things seem to be growing fine here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.